2 or 3, 4 crises ago, I don't know, I'm an old guy now, I had a personal crisis, of losing everything. I decided I was never going to be the victim of the things I can control when one of these things that I can't control come at me again. And so we got out of debt and we built an emergency fund. And we were in the last downturn of 2008, we were in a position we had piles of cash. And so I was able to buy real estate at a nickel and a dime on the dollar. And it was a wonderful time. But there were other times I was broke and couldn't take advantage of stuff being on sale. But if you're in a position you got money right now, the stock market's on sale, real estate's not moved much yet. But if you're buying even consumer items other than toilet paper, most things are on sale. It is cliche, but cliches come from truth. It's the greatest time and the worst time in your life. You don't want to go back there. I went bankrupt. I lost everything in my 20s. I don't want to go back there. But the lessons that I learned from that pain were so thorough. Pain is a thorough teacher. It was a rich time. The fertilizer was everywhere. Lots of place to grow stuff, lots of poop. And that's what you had there in 2008. There weren't any jobs. You could just, there was a contraction of the economy, a recession, and you are on your citrus couch. And so you found out that the secret sauce in your life is the guy in your mirror. That it's not some outside variable that's going to come and save you. The cavalry's not coming. Santa Claus doesn't live in Washington, D.C. It's up to you, baby. Get up off the couch. I got to go leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. You found that truth in that moment. I found that truth that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That old saying. I found that truth. And nowadays, now that I've been through, Y2K or 911 or all these initials come at you, the horrible thing of 2008, now the corona. The only thing I am sure is we're going to get through this. You get hope because you go, it's not going to kill you. You could get the virus. I don't mean that, but I'm saying the economic stress that we're under, the fear that we have, the concern or the worry that we have, you don't die from it, but you feel like there's this hopelessness, and the truth is that's unfounded. The truth is there's a lot of reason to have hope. By this time next year, where do you really think we're going to be? Are you not 90-something% sure that the economy will be roaring again and your life will be back to some level of normalcy? You think it's going to be 10 years for you to personally recover from this? No, that's absurd. And you know that once you've walked through several of them. And so it's just, to me, it's like, yeah, you're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're in fabulous financial shape. It's not I got a lot of money invested in the stock market. It's going down. I'm going to put some more money in while it's on sale. If real estate goes on sale again, I'll buy some more. It's not arrogance. It's just I've been doing this a long time. I'm the little pig in the brick house, huff and puff, baby. But it does put you in a position to serve then. And truthfully, you get more joy, even in a crisis, in serving than you do in sitting in the basement and counting your coins. The thing is this, we all get wake-up calls. We get wake-up calls in our relationships, our spiritual walk. We get wake-up calls in our finances. And some people, the phone's ringing off the hook right now. They're getting wake-up calls on a bunch of things. They're at home with their family, and they're starting to realize, I was disconnected from my family. They got a wake-up call on their relationships at home. They've gotten a wake-up call on, I don't have any savings, and I'm deeply in debt. This isn't working. And so the cool thing is when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone? And if you pick the phone up, that means, baby, it's time to change. And you can look back, and you might be 27 years old right now watching this, and you're screwed. You lost your job. You got no money. You got no savings. You feel like it's all over. And I remember in 1970, I was 10 years old, and I was in my grandpa's backyard. We were tearing down an old deck. And I pulled some nails out of those old boards as we were taking the boards off. And he taught me to put them down and straighten them with a hammer and save those used nails in a coffee can. Now, my Grandpa Ramsey was one of my favorite people on the planet. This is 1970, and he was still answering the phone that rang in the Great Depression. It changed his life. He was frugal and careful and wise with money the rest of his life. And so someday, 27-year-old, you're going to be sitting on the back porch with your grandkid, and you're going to remember back in 2020, there was the coronavirus, and it changed my life. And you're going to be that guy. You're going to be giving dad jokes, and grandpa jokes, right, like I am now. And you're going to get that opportunity. I was 28 years old when I lost everything. It was my fault. It was the S&L crisis. The banking climate changed. I'd built a house of cards. I was stupid. And the phone rang. And it was my wake-up call. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life to where you say, never again? I'm going to control the controllables to where I'm the little pig in the brick house. Never again. That may be the only thing you get out of this crisis, and if it is, you got enough. In my life, when I have become desperate, right after that's when I become stupid. When you get scared and you go rushing towards something out of fear, that sense of desperation, this thing, when you do that, you're getting ready to screw up. I mean, just count on it. And the other time you do that is if you're greedy. If you think okay, I got this one. I can take advantage of this. And I mean, greedy as a lack of virtue greedy. I don't mean greedy in a positive way where I'm being ambitious, okay? I mean the negative sides of greed. And so if you're functioning in desperation or in this no holds barred, I'm going to just clean up on other people's pain thing, that's when you're getting ready to screw up and you're getting ready to make a major mistake. And so you're set up also for con artists when you do that. If you're functioning in high emotion, your brain just doesn't work good. My friend Art Laffer says, when you're panicked and when you're drunk, you don't make good decisions. When you're on high emotion, your critical thinking skills shut down. That's when I've made the biggest mistakes in my life, is when I was desperate, and the few times that I was greedy, where I thought, I'm going to slip in there and that's going to be easy money. A buddy of mine, I was in my 20s, and a buddy of mine was buying gold. Now, this is in the 80s. Okay, it's 1,000,000 years ago. And he's buying gold, and he had this friend that was a gold bug. He was picking gold, and this guy had picked the gold prices where they were going within $1 like 14 times in a row. We both dropped $5,000 into this thing, and if we had hit, it was a margin deal, and so I would have made $50,000. But it's a margin play, which means you're either going to make $50,000 or you're going to make zero. So he picked it right 14 times. The time I got in, the 15th time, missed it. I got zero. Turned $5,000 into zero instantly. Last time I bought gold, last time I played stuff on margin, last time I got greedy. The vast majority of people who are successful financially and successful have done it incrementally. There's very few people who you see a meteoric rise in their wealth or their success that keep it. I think because you build your character along the way to be able to hold on and be able to do it. I think that's my theory on it. I mean, I got rich quick. I started with nothing. And by the time I was 26, I had $4 million worth of real estate. I built a house of cards, and I had $1 million net worth. I made $250,000 in 1984. I was making $20,000 a month.